So the watch face itself is very cool, looks very neat and clean, and actually very beautiful. I really like it. And the moment I saw this watch face, I downloaded it and I paid for it. It's like $1.20 or something like that. I will put the link in the description so you can check it out. So let's take a look at the aesthetics of the watch face. We've got these hours in big numbers. So we've got 12 at the top, 6, 3 and 9. In the middle we get the date, and then we get the digital time, so 11:58 right now. Then we have got this seconds dot moving around in the periphery, and then we also have 4 complications on 4 points here. So we've got AM PM here, steps, heart rate and battery percentage over here. So we also have got hour and minute hands here, and you can actually also customize all of this stuff and make it really cool and really give it your own style, and that's what we're going to take a look at now. So this is the always on display version of this watch face. You get the day and the date and time here, you get these hands and a very subtle look of the hours as well. So that's the always on display look of this watch face. Now let's go ahead and customize it and see what options we get. So if we go in customize, we get the top style, and then we have bottom style, hands, color, complications. So top style, we will go through different colors here. So we've got blue, yellow, orange, pink, gray. So let's select yellow here. Then we've got bottom style, and that changes the color of 6 and 3. So you can do all that, and let's select this one. Then we've got hands here. So we've got quite few different looks for the hands. So you can also select this one, which is unobtrusive, that do not block any part of the watch face behind them. I actually really like this one. So we'll go for color. So this is the color of the hands, and we can change that. And then we have got 4 complications. So you will have to grant permissions, and then you can select any complication from here. There are quite a few options. So let's go in app shortcut and select assistant here, and here you can add anything, and then finally we will add daily activity. Press OK, and there you go. And once again, this developer implements complications in a very clever way. You know that there are complications in 3 different places on this watch face, but they do not appear on the watch face itself, and that keeps things very clear and minimal on the watch face. So that's very colorful look of this watch face. I really like it actually. So if we tap here, this will take us to Google Assistant. If I tap here, this will take us to recent apps, and finally if I tap here, this should take us to activity, but it's not showing up anywhere right now. I actually love this watch face and the way it looks and the way it has been built. It has a very contrasty appearance. You get the digital stuff at the top, and then we have got the analog type watch face at the bottom, and you can see clear contrast between these 2 types. I really love it. And here you can see that this is the always on display version of this watch face. You can see all the elements, but in black and white mode, and a bit of color here in these 2 complications here. So let's go through the aesthetics of this watch face now quickly. So at the bottom, this is my favorite part here. So as minutes go by, this actually moves along. So right now it's 10, and here now it has just moved to 11 minutes, and as this video progresses it will continue to move. So this continues to move and is very dynamic, and I love this part. Then we also have PM AM that will shift with the time, and then at the top we have got few complications here. Here we get the battery life, we've got the heart rate, we've got the day and date, then we have seconds here, and then at the top we obviously get this big digital version of the hour. So right now it's 12:11, and then at the top you can see we have some options for steps as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at how you can customize it and what options are available to us. So let's go in customize. So we've got hands that we can customize, then we've got color, and then we've got complications, a couple of complications. So let's go through this hands color. So this actually changes the color of the entire bottom of this watch face. So we've got pink, we've got this really cool red and black gradient option, green, orange, and then this dark one. I also actually like this one. That's how this one looks, also really cool. So now if we go on further and customize the color, we've got color options for the top half of this watch face. So we can select between these different colors. I like the original one actually, that's the best one. And then finally we have got a couple of complications. So you can go in here, you have to grant some permissions for sensors and stuff, and then you can add any of these complications. So add heart rate here, and here I'm going to add recent apps. So tap here, this will take us to heart rate, and if I tap here, this will take us to recent apps. So that's how you can customize this watch face, and I have to say that I really love the aesthetics and the look of this watch face and how it has been structured. We've got the analog style at the bottom, we've got digital style at the top, and we've got this really cool 3D effect going on at the edges here. It's beautiful and it is very different. It is very different from what I have used before on my Galaxy watches. I will put the link of this watch face in the description below so you can go ahead and take a look at it. It seems like there are all of these banners that are layered on top of each other, and then there are some shadows around them to give it a 3D effect and make them feel real. So always on display version is also very cool. You've got big blocky numbers here that tell you time. We've got big day and date here, and then AM PM version here. So on the watch face itself we have got our time here, day and date, battery percentage, we've got heart rate, and then steps here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how you can customize this watch face and what options are available. So if we go and customize here, so we've got BG left. Now perhaps this is background left, and then we've got background middle, right, and then we've got complications. So let's see what we can make of these customization options. So background left, so you can see that this changes the colors of the left half of the display, that is hours. So you can choose different color combinations here. So let's select this one. Then we've got background middle, that is the minutes. So once again we've got different options for this one. This is really cool, and you know, you can make different combinations or whatever you want to make it look like. And then finally we've got background right, this would be the day and date. So we have got few options for this as well. So this is the one that I will choose. And then we've got complications here, so we have to allow permissions for different sensors, and then you can add all of these different complications here. So this is how the watch face looks after customizing it. Now we know that we've got few complications here, so let's select assistant for this one. So if I tap here, it will launch assistant, and if I tap here, this will take us to recent apps. So this is the watch face, it's called Peak. Let's go ahead and take a look at this watch face. So we've got time here, again big numbers, very easy to see. We've got date and day, battery percentage, steps, and AM PM here. Now if we go into customize this watch face, there aren't many options, and I also like that because it keeps things simple and straightforward. So if I long press on it and go in customize, you will see that we've got only two options, color and complications. So not much to play around with here. Let's go through all the colors and see how it looks. So we've got pink, purple, orange, blue. Okay, I really like this one. And then we've got yellow, dark pink, another blue, and then we've got red here as well. So that's the colors options. I really like this blue one, so I'm going to keep this one. Then we go on to complications. So again, we've got three complications here, and the way the complications work on these watch faces by this company called USA is that although you have the ability to add these complications, they will not show up on the watch face. So if I go in here, I can choose the complications from here, and let's say I will choose Bixby here. Then I can tap on this one and go in app shortcut, and I will choose Google Assistant. And then this third complication, I will choose recent apps. Now we'll go back, the color changes, and you can see that we don't have any complications that are appearing here. But if I tap here, this will take me to Bixby, and that will take me to Google Assistant, and a tap here will take me to recent apps. So this is a new thing that I have faced in these watch faces, where you know that you've got the complications on the watch face, you can set them, but they don't appear on the watch face. So that helps keep things very minimal. I really like this concept, and I'm actually a big fan of this now. So you keep things simple and minimal on the watch face, and when you need whatever you need from the complications, you just tap where they're supposed to be and they'll take you to that specific app. The name of the watch face is Sundae Tiles. So what is different in this watch face? It's how it's presented. So here you can see that the date is presented in a way of a conversation. It's Monday 04. So that's the date, and then we've got time in big blocky numbers, and then below that we've got these different banners here. So we have got battery, steps, and we have heart rate with these really cute graphics, give it very colorful look. So that's the aesthetics, and now let's take a look at how the always on display version of this watch face looks. So everything goes dark, you can still see all the details here, and there is another version of this always on display, and we'll just go ahead and take a look at it as well. If we go in customization now, I would like to see what customize options it provides us. So we have got styles, decoration, leading zero, separator. So we'll go through all of this, always on display, color, and complications. So let's see what all of these different customization options are about. So let's go through some of these different styles. And when you change the styles, the color of these banners down below also change. Then we have decoration. So in decoration, you can see that there are different patterns that appear on these banners down below. So that is another element of how you can customize this watch face. Okay, I really like this one. And then we've got separator, so this dot in the time, so you can get 2 dots or 1 dot, it's up to you. And then minimal AOD, so it doesn't show up here, but it will show up when we turn on the always on display on this watch face, and we'll go through that in a minute. Then we have got colors for the hour, so you can choose different colors here. And finally we have complications. So if we go in complications, you can see that we can select from a lot of options here for complications. So press OK, and there you go, the watch face changes completely. Now let's take a look at what was that always on display about. So there you go, with that second option that we chose, everything else vanishes and we just get time in color format. So that's about it. This one once again comes from the developer USA, and the name of this watch face is called Huge Simple. Now it is huge definitely because we get this digital time here. So we've got this big blocky numbers, 4:32, that is the time right now, and it is simple because there is not much that it is showing on the watch face. It is very minimal. And then in the middle you can see that we have our date and day here, and at the bottom we get heart rate, steps, and at the top we get the battery life. Now even though the watch face is very minimal, there is some 3D effect going on in the numbers here because of the work of these shadows. So a lot of nice work has gone into designing this watch face, and I'm a big fan. Now let's go ahead and check what are the customization features of this watch face. So long press and go in customize. So we have background here, decoration, and complications. So let's go through these options one by one. So in background you can change the colors of the time. I think I like this one. So next up we have decoration. Let's see what's that all about. So now within the colors you can now add different styles and different effects. Okay, that's really cool actually. So you can choose any one of them. Okay, I'll go with this one. And then finally we've got complications. So you can add 4 different complications here. So if we go here, you have to allow for some permissions, and then you can add complications from this list, and you can then launch these complications. So there we go, we have customized our watch face into a completely new design. It looks beautiful, it looks simple, and it's actually really cool. I really like this one. And now let's take a look at how it appears in always on display version. We can see time in the background, and we can also see day and date here. So it's actually more visible in person as compared to what you can see on the camera. Now first of all, you can see that the time is once again in big blocky numbers, and that has been the theme with this specific developer called USA Design Watchfaces. One thing different that I've noticed with this watch face is the seconds. Now they are also as big as the rest of the time, hours and minutes, and they are rolling, so you can see them live. So that's really cool, and that's really different, and I really like this simplistic design that this specific developer keeps in mind when developing these watch faces. I really like the theme of these watch faces as well, and same is the case with this one. So let's go through some of the elements of this watch face. We've got hour, minutes and seconds, and then we've got battery percentage, we have steps here, and then we have got day and date here, and then AM PM here. Now let's see what are the customization options for this watch face. We'll go in customize. So here we have our color, so we can change these colors here. So we can go through this list. So let's select this one. Then we have minute colors. So once again we have different colors for minutes, so choose this one. And then we have seconds color, and we can change seconds color, and I think I will select this one. Next we have color for AM PM time. So you get the idea, you can change the colors for almost any element here. And then finally we have complications, so you can add 4 different complications. Let's go through the list of complications here. So in complications you can add app shortcuts, Bixby, recent apps, and Samsung Health. So a lot of stuff going on that you can add in complications. You can add Google Assistant here as well. So once you're done, press OK, and we'll go back, and we have a new look for our watch face. So if I tap here, this should take me to recent apps. So one thing to note here is that even though we have complications on these 4 points, they do not show up on the watch face. Hence we get the clean look of this watch face, and is not cluttered with a lot of icons, a lot of complications, and that's really cool as well. So this is the always on display version of this watch face. We have hour, minutes and our date. So this watch face shows most of the elements that we want to see in a watch face very minimally. So we have got the hours in these big bold numbers here that covers most of the display. Then we've got these minutes in this small bubble that goes around the display as minutes go ahead. Then we have got day behind it, and then AM, and we have got the date here and battery percentage. So it shows off these elements very minimally, and it's a very different kind of a watch face. Now there are also few elements of this watch face that you can edit. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and we will long press and go in customize. So here first of all we have our background, so we can change the color. Okay, let's select white here. Next up we have our gradient. So if we change the gradient, you can see that our gradient changes to different colors, and you can make it more colorful in that way. Next we have date background, so we can change the date background here as well. And okay, select this one. Then we have minute background, so we can change minute background to orange or gray. And then we've got 3 complications here, so we'll allow it, and then you can add the complication of your choice. Let's say I want to add steps here, so the steps will show up here. And then we've got another complication here. Let's add Bixby here, and then the third one. So the complications don't actually show up here on the display itself, but if you tap on the places where we chose them, they will take us to the app that we selected. So we are in Bixby now, and here I selected recent apps, so now you can quickly access recent apps as well. So what I really like about this watch face is the minimalism, yet the ability to customize it to the way that you want. You've got colors here, you've got minimalism here, and then you've got these big elements which I'm a big fan of. to see the time and date and day and battery percentage. You can add complications as well. And this one is called Chalk from USA design watch faces, and this one is actually one of the best selling watch faces on the Play Store right now, so I decided to give it a go and see what it's all about. So here you can see that it has a very lively design. We have our time here in big chalky numbers and digits. Then at the top we have our day. It says Monday. We've got month here, July. Very stylish iconography going on, very smart iconography, I would say. And then at the bottom it says I am at 68%, so that's your battery, and that's always on display version. It just goes black and white in the same design. And then finally we have our steps. Now you can see that we have got some really cool icons going on alongside these stats here, and the day is also in this banner, so it's very different from what I am used to of. And once again, that's the always on display version, which also again looks very cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the customization options for this watch face. So if we go in customize, we have background, always on display option, color, and complications. So let's go through backgrounds. So it just changes the color of the banner and the overall theme color. Sift through these colors and set the one that you really like. Okay, I will select this one. Next we have always on display. So we have seen the default always on display version. We'll select the second one here. Next we have color. So this is the color for the time itself, and you can change that as well. So, and then finally we have complications. So we have 4 different complications here that we can set. So allow the permissions, and then you can add different complications from here. There are quite a few options available. So that's our customized watch face. Finally we can see. So this is the second always on display version. Here we only get time, hour, minutes, and AM PM, and that's about it. And this version of the always on display will also help with preserving the battery life. It's an analog watch face, but we also get digital time at the top. Then we have date and day here. We've got battery, heart rate, and steps here. And then we also have seconds, hands going on, and we have these seconds and hour markings at the periphery. Now let's see what customization options we get with this watch face. So if we go in customize, so first of all we have the background options. So here you can see that we can change the background here. So we have few different options. So let's go with this camo style. Then we have a triangle color. So there you go. Now we have some accent colors, and you can really make it look like, you know, a sci-fi type of watch face and give it some sleek look. So this is the one that I like. Then we have hands. So you can change the hands as well. So this one looks cool, but I'll stick with the original one. Then we have colors. So more colors, you can add more colors if you want. Always on display version. So by default just the seconds hand disappear and everything else remains the same. So let's see what the second one brings along. And then we have complications. So you can add quite a few complications in this watch face. So here you can see all the complications that you can add. Press OK and it will change. So this is the new look of this watch face. Looks really cool, really sleek, and really modern. I really like this, and definitely gives it more character with these accent colors which you can choose obviously. So let's see what is the dark mode like, the second one that we choose. So there you go. Now the accent colors are more pronounced in this one, but you still see a lot of content on this watch face. This is also not good for the battery life also. Anyways, this is the watch face triangle. I'll put the link of this watch face in the description below if you want to check it out. And that's about it from this video. I will see you in the next one.